Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
The Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the Professor, Russ Stevens, and of course, he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get it started, and it's Patriots heavy all the time right now on this show.
We got right now.
Yeah,
it's all they talk about around the water cooler right now.
It's almost a reach to go any other team in this town.
Well, we got some Bruins signings. Maybe
we're going to talk a little Bruins.
It's so much easier for me to talk about games that I've actually watched. Let's just try to wing it with the Red Sox this year.
And you have complete control when it's once a week. Yeah, right. For a few-hour period. If you have DVR, it can even be shorter. Sure. I stayed awake, just so you know, for the whole game.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, 1 o'clock game instead of the first game on Sunday.
Nap time in the Kerman house.
Well, we waited a little bit. All right, we start with Antonio Brown on the field. Finally, we got to see how Antonio Brown looks like in a Patriots uniform. And Russ, he looked good in that first quarter.
He looked good in the first quarter. It was pretty stunning to me that the Miami Dolphins just decided not to cover him, apparently.
Yeah, it was just pitch and catch.
That first pass, the Dolphins just didn't cover him.
No, right.
The guy was playing like 20 yards off.
It was like they assumed he wouldn't be up to speed.
It was unbelievable.
We can leave this guy alone.
And Timmy, you knew that Antonio Brown was going to get Tom Brady.
I wasn't sure. I honestly wasn't sure if they were going to play him. I'm usually wrong. Just look at my gambling record.
And you had the Dolphins winning, so that was good.
They fed. I had the Dolphins winning. I do the opposite. George Costanza. They fed him early.
Yeah.
And they say that's how to get this guy engaged. They gave him feed him early, get him engaged,
keep him happy.
But Joe, you were worried that when he gets chucked on the line, that he actually has problems separating himself.
He's never had problems before.
No, he has. Actually, the stats I've seen, these pro football.
I mean, he's just about led the league in receptions and yards every year.
Don't they say he has some of the best feet in the league coming off the line?
Yeah. But it's a thing, Wes. They're going to have to figure out how he's best utilized.
Look, the only way you can play and beat the Patriots, that we've seen is that you've got to press cover their wide receivers and put pressure on Brady with 3 or 4 guys. So they're going to. When they start playing better defenses, Antonio Brown's going to see that if he's still on the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, it's a week by week.
Yeah. Yeah. And who are they going to cover with if you got both him and Edelman in the slot?
It's a vicious
one of them's getting a linebacker.
Yeah, right.
And that's too
Jacoby
late.
Myers didn't even make the game day roster.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. All right, well, 43-0, and I just have to ring my own horn because I'm pretty good at that. I predicted 42-2, so I'm almost right there. You were close.
I was close.
You were all close. We were all close.
33. But thankfully, Tim was wrong.
Push his chair out. Get him back. Tom Brady, Brookline's own.
I'm picking the Jets this week too.
Tom Brady, Brookline's own for now. Still, I don't think I've been given $39 million for the home. No. Was sharp as usual.
Is he dropping it to 38.5?
Yeah, right. He was sharp as usual, right?
But the big news today was he appeared on the injury report out of nowhere with a calf injury.
Oh, wow.
I think it's gonna
out
be
of nowhere.
Right. My guess it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
All right, would they ever consider Bill resting him at times during the course of the season?
If they didn't take him out of that game last week, they're not going to rest him.
I totally agree with Timmy. They're not going to rest him.
No, never, right?
Never.
Jared Stidham was the only guy that dressed last week that didn't play.
There will be an uprising.
Everyone played
in this
last
state.
week.
If Brady gets hurt, like we're winning by like 30 points in the fourth quarter, and he gets hurt with like a minute to go in the game.
Well, defense is so terrific, and now all of a sudden, Joe, I got to give you your props. I wish they had not traded Brian Hoyer. I'm not or let him go, because I think that this current defense could win a Super Bowl championship with a game manager. Would you guys?
Well, let's see. Look, we haven't exactly played stiff competition yet, right? So let's wait until maybe game 9 or 10.
No, but what you're seeing, I mean,
these
it's
first
pretty
8
clear.
games. Honest, I agree. These first 8 games, although I think Jared Stidham's winning you 6 or 7 of these first 8 games as well.
Right, but the defense
with the defense is what Scotty.
But Timmy, the defense is much faster than they've been the last few years.
This is the best defense in my lifetime I've ever seen the Patriots.
Better than 04.
All right, so you're saying the carryover from the playoffs last year.
The carryover and just the personnel, the speed, the experience, the depth. I mean, right now, the best, in my opinion.
Look, would you say they came together in the first half of the AFC Championship game, that all of a sudden we saw what kind of defense they could be?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially the defensive backfield really has gelled. Look, and they played together very well.
They've made a scheme change in the playoffs last year, where they went to that amoeba stand up, confuse the quarterback, rely on your defensive backs defense that is much more attacking than the one we knew. Like, it used to be 3rd and 15.
You're going to steal my thunder, Russ.
3rd and 15, you'd cover your eyes because teams would convert 3rd and 15 like it was 3rd and 3.
And against bums.
Terrible.
Quarterbacks who were absolute bums. And the Patriots would play, still not giving up the big play.
Because it felt like a prevent defense.
They would play 15 yards off the receiver.
Well, that's because you have situations like Goff last year. He would sit there at the line, instead of diagnosing the defense, he'd wait. McVay would tell him what to do, and he'd make the adjustment right there at the line after McVay told him. When the Patriots did that amoeba front,
can't do it.
McVay couldn't tell him, and so that's why Goff went from an all-pro to an all,
To me, it's the Gilmore factor. I think Bill has such confidence in
tremendous
Gilmore.
faith in those guys.
Yeah, and I think that,
Would you say, Russ, it was like 3rd downs? I was not expecting in both games for the other team to get a first down. Whereas, just like you said, I always expect those 3rd
against
downs.
any crappy quarterback that they threw against them.
Man, we made guys who were like 3rd string, 8th round draft picks look like they would play us and they would have their career years against the Patriots.
Matt Schaub's a millionaire because of the Patriots.
We made more horrible quarterbacks look like all pros.
Now I think anything over 3rd and 4, I'm like, we got this.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, undrafted free agents, especially named Butler on defense, tend to do pretty well. I thought it was a coming out party for Adam Butler this week. He was all over the field, and I think what you said, Joe, had the most snaps by any defensive player in the Patriots.
On the front 7, And God bless him. And they had him moving around a little, too. He wasn't just, over the center, over the guy. They had him playing a little defensive end type.
Russ, big, young guy on the cheap. That's perfect for the New England Patriots.
What he specializes in.
So, Jason McCourty, Timmy, I thought maybe he'd be a surprise cut, even though they re-signed him the extension after last season. I thought he still might be a surprise cut with the depth they have. He played a great game on Sunday.
It seems like everybody's playing great. I mean, they're clicking. Like, Pittsburgh has turned out to be not a very good team.
Well, Pittsburgh, obviously they lost.
They're offensively challenged now, even before Roethlisberger. They seem like
they've lost Brown,
Pittsburgh
Bell,
seemed like a team without a mission on offense. And then the Dolphins, and the Jets are going to be the Jets.
If you saw the Jets on Monday night, they're the worst of all.
The 23-point spread right now?
We're not going to get tested. Is that right? Is that what? Wow.
Until Baltimore in Baltimore.
That's the.
And Baltimore always plays us tough.
Yeah.
There's two. We're not going to get a test.
Well, maybe Buffalo. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
Buffalo could be 3-0 in that game.
Here's the thing. Buffalo's beaten the Jets and the Giants.
In the Meadowlands.
Yeah,
they played 2 games.
Giants,
how can NFL teams be this horrible?
Yeah, well, it's all about the quarterback.
All of these gigantic Division I programs in this country, the Alabamas and the Georgias and the USCs and all these
It's a quarterback, Tim.
great.
That's what it is.
And the coaching, I think.
Well,
No,
a lot of these
absolutely.
front offices aren't motivated to put a great product out there because they're professional teams and they're making money hand over fist no matter what they put out.
But you just see the effort put in by every franchise. Hard Knocks, you get a glimpse of it, and the product that goes out there, it's just so poor. Like a third of the league is just
And the
horrible.
Giants are making more money than the Patriots.
Well, look, all you have to look at is Jamie Collins Sr. is back with the Patriots. Anyone could have picked him up. Right? Obviously, he got cut. Jamie Collins Sr. is proving to be, except for Gilmore, maybe the second best player on the defense of these first two games.
Look. I think the two things, the last two subjects, are related in that it's also nice to have a coach who's not fearful of his job or his GM.
Right.
So Belichick feels comfortable cutting Jamie Collins or trading him, and then he also feels comfortable bringing him back. No, he can't. He can't get himself fired.
No
right
bad blood.
No.
Right. So every move he makes is out of strength. He's not making any defensive moves. And I think one of the things about how they're so bad is that you had all these GMs and coaches making moves out of fear, desperate moves.
And keeping these players when they want to cut
Way
them.
beyond
They're
when
just
they
saying,
should.
the Jets coach might be one and done.
Yeah.
And the AFC East just seems like the dumping ground for horrible quarterbacks and horrible coaches.
Well, we kind of panned a little bit the Philip Dorsett for Jacoby Brissett deal, only because you felt like maybe, Jacoby Brissett is starting quarterback for the Colts at times, that you could have got more. But Philip Dorsett has proved to be a very consistent performer, and these last two games, he's really stood out.
And in the playoffs, he makes the most of every opportunity he gets.
What was the stat that you said?
The last 23 targets, 23
Wow.
catches.
I think
mean, that's making the most of your
I
opportunities.
think that even rose, didn't it, that number?
No,
that
that's
was
up to
23.
date,
Yeah, that's up to date. That's going back through the playoffs. Every time they throw to him, he catches it.
23. That might be some type of world record.
The only moment in the game the other day that I was even remotely nervous was when we were up by 7. It felt like we should be up by 21-0. We had a third and long, and that's when
He
he
makes
completed
a
a
big
It's like a
17-yard
hockey
pass
game
to
where you're all
Dorsett.
shooting the other team 30-0 and you have nothing to show for it.
Well, I heard a comparison, David Patton.
Yeah, it's
And
similar
I thought
guys.
that was, really
Small,
very similar, those kind of guys.
Now let's talk about what worries me about the Patriots, the offensive line and the injuries.
That's a great segue to the offensive line. Well, Marcus Cannon, we're hoping he comes back. I mean, they said it was kind of a game-time
I think
decision.
they'll hold him out again.
They will.
Why not? Hold him out.
Well,
make sure.
oh, great question. Why not? To protect Tom Brady so he doesn't get hurt.
Well, that's
Why not?
the big worry. We have
Yeah,
all
Well,
these.
they're just going to be running the ball against the Jets. Short, quick, get the ball out quick. They're not going to let Leonard Williams get a sniff of him or that Quinnen Williams. Either one of them is getting a sniff.
Yes, if Marcus Cannon's ready to play, Marcus Cannon's playing.
Yeah, I think you got to protect the asset.
It's
Right?
like having the Hope Diamond and no security around it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's the only thing that can derail this team, I think, is offensive line injuries. Right?
Yeah,
Well, which
absolutely.
leads to Tom Brady.
Sure, well, that's what it's all about.
That's my point.
Yeah, right.
You might have the greatest running back in the world. If you got no one to open holes from, he's really not going. If you have the greatest quarterback and he's on his back every third play,
Look, you can't have Tom Brady hurt. You can't have him a broken finger.
So
nothing.
Can't Dante Scarnecchia work his magic with all these
Well, let's see.
off-the-street guys right now?
Yeah, now 4 out of the 6 offensive linemen are below average to even scrub level people.
Almost off-the-street guys.
Yeah.
That's why you
no
need
one else
Cannon
in the
back.
league wanted Corey Cunningham. No one else in the league wanted Newhouse. No one else in the league wanted. I can't
Only
pronounce the new
joking
guy's
with
name.
these names
Yeah,
right
but
off.
look, obviously you got to go.
But then they're
you have to
knocking
go
on.
run heavy because you can beat the Jets handily, and you just got to protect the asset.
Look, Scarnecchia has worked magic before. If you can at least get those guys to play replacement level football, they'll be fine. McDaniels will engineer the offense around quick passes to
Yeah,
just
there's got to be expectations of the position. That you have to be able to play to a certain level, and Josh will work around that.
Has Scarnecchia ever been more important than it right now?
No, that's for
right
sure.
now. Absolutely.
Well,
right.
last season too, we talked about the continuity because there weren't injuries on the offensive line, and now all of a sudden you knew that wasn't going to happen again.
Yeah.
All right, are you happy now with Sony Michel that he played much better this week?
Oh yeah, there'll be games that the game plan suits Sony, and there'll be games that doesn't. The Steelers game didn't suit Sony.
Okay, but Nick Chubb is much
I'll
much
take Nick
sexier
Chubb
right
any
now.
day over him.
No, so Sony Michel could win 3 Super Bowls.
Nope. Yep.
6 touchdowns
And I'll
in the
still take
playoffs.
Nick Chubb.
Chubb did look pretty good in the game.
Yeah.
The other
Nick
day.
Oh,
Chubb-
against the Jets, right?
Against the
Okay,
Jets.
yeah.
Well, no, he looks good against everyone, and he can catch the ball too.
Against everyone. Okay. Oh my God. So
He still hates him.
yeah,
still
right.
I was the only one who defended him after that Pittsburgh game.
Just some side note: Ted Karras with the shotgun snaps, which I became infatuated with
Yeah,
the
I
first
think
week.
a little
Seemed better,
better.
right?
Seemed much better. I think there was one that was slightly high, but I wasn't paying much attention to that game. I was multitasking.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you DVR it or?
I was at a hockey game, then in the car, then home, then off to another hockey game in the car.
And he didn't miss anything.
I know this is bad. These are not competitive games.
Not competitive.
This one doesn't look like it will be either.
No, it's not. This looks worse than the
Luke
Dolphins.
Falk is going to be playing quarterback against the New England Patriots.
So, but the AFC East being so weak again, the ticket to the first round bye.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
like
of
it.
course.
I mean, it's like an automatic ticket every
going to
year.
the NFC Championship
This
again.
these teams, they just keep shooting themselves in the foot every year.
they
All right,
really do.
Landon Roberts played the captain. Captain Landon.
Captain
he
Landon.
did play. And,
That guy on your front steps.
right.
He's got to
Inside
watch out.
joke.
Brandon Kings might be coming back.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Yeah, because Landon actually made a couple of good plays. So I still hate on him. And
That was a great hit he made early in the first quarter.
It was. That was
He
yeah,
really-
a highlight hit. I would mention Danny Shelton, too. I mean, this is going so well, even we're getting good
guys you
production
hate.
from Danny Shelton.
He's a big boy.
Right?
Hate to feed that guy.
Next thing you know, Lawrence Guy will do something for you.
I know. You've gone too far. All right, did Brian Flores get punked by Bill Belichick by them keeping Brady in late in the fourth quarter and still throwing passes?
I just think it's practice for
Yeah.
the Patriots. It's a live practice. It's like the dual practices in the summer. They're looking at it and saying, "Hey, let's run a play we haven't run yet. We'll try to go deep down the right sideline. Why not?"
Is this a residual of not having many practices in pads now where the NFL restricts that?
It could be. I agree with Russ. This was like, let's try this, let's
Padded
try that.
practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only so many padded practices. Why
And, you know,
not sneak one
Belichick
in?
is not known for taking his foot off the gas against anybody.
And also, the Dolphins were giving no effort, so it's not like we're getting to Tom Brady late in the fourth
But you
quarter.
know what?
That heat.
I don't want to bring up the Dolphins here, but I like them in like 3 or 4, 5 years. Brady will be going.
Okay.
They're going to have
All right.
1,000 draft picks.
All right,
I
well,
think
3 or 4 or
whatever.
5
Yeah,
years.
Cleveland's
Yeah.
had 1,000 draft picks over the last 20
If we
years.
were
I
waiting,
don't got nothing.
would you wait for the Patriots for 3 to 4 or
no,
5
but
years?
I don't know. But the Dolphins, like, they seem
Yeah,
to have
they
a
could be.
direction right now. I like that move of getting rid of Minka.
they're going to be better. Of course, Timmy, they're going to be better once Tom Brady leaves.
They have a zillion draft. You know what's happening in the NFL is what's been going on in basketball. I think it's what Timmy's referring to is that
players.
tanking has come into vogue in the NFL. You've got any given year, you're going to have 4, 5, 6 teams tanking. And the thing about the NFL tanking is there's no lottery. So you can
Right.
race to the
I
bottom
know.
in the NFL and be pretty sure if you go 0-16, you're going to, or 1-15 or 2-14, you're going to get the first
Yeah,
pick.
so if they
That and the
load up on all
players.
these draft picks, you know, build up that defensive and offensive line,
then Cleveland
and then
next
win the
year.
Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Yeah, all right.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's what
we could be
Cleveland
looking
did.
up at them for the next decade.
Miami's running the Cleveland playbook. Miami's got an ungodly amount of draft
And
picks in the
Cleveland
next 2
still
years.
stinks. You watch that Jets game. Cleveland didn't
I
impress
wasn't.
me at
I've
all.
seen both. Cleveland games. Mayfield this year does not impress me at all. I don't feel like he's made a
You get a
jump.
lot
They
of
believe their
passes
hype.
knocked down. I'll tell you that.
Believe their hype. I think.
The
they
other-
believe
Yeah, you
their
think so?
hype. Yeah.
The other thing with the copy in the NBA is the star players forcing their way out of teams
That's exactly
into
right.
the teams they want to be. They're learning that, taking that out
That
of the NBA
subject came up on
playbook.
the broadcast the other night. They said, how long is it going to be till 3 or 4 of these NFL players are saying, hey, let's all team up and go here. Let's all team up and go
Well,
there.
Fitzpatrick, as a second-year player, shooting himself out of Miami, game 2 is outrageous.
But in the big picture, it might have played into Miami's plan, actually.
Just to collect more draft picks.
I think if I'm
Absolutely. They're
Flores, when I'm
tanking.
looking back, I'm going, you want to go? You're not really in our 5-year plan here. See you later, first-round draft pick. Come on in.
Oh, they're racing right down to the bottom. It's a tank job of epic proportion.
And they might be racing they've got the Pittsburgh Steelers #1 pick. They might be racing the Steelers to the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah.
They might have the 1 and the 2 pick.
Well, it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs still are a biggest
Oh, yeah.
competition
Oh,
to
yeah.
get to the Super Bowl.
For sure.
Yeah.
The guy is magical. Mahomes is.
So we have that game at home, right?
We have
Yep.
that game at home.
So that's the key for the home
AFC
field
Championship.
advantage.
You want the AFC Championship at home if Kansas City's. We got out of Kansas City last year because
Yeah.
of D
You know,
Ford lined up off sides.
I have a customer who
right.
was looking for a couple of Pats tickets. I went on StubHub today. You cannot believe the price is being asked for Patriots tickets right now.
Where is
Even, even
my
for the
God.
Jets.
Sort of like Red
Every
Sox
game.
tickets, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the last 5 years, you
I
couldn't
mean,
give them away.
end zone tickets, $1,000.
You got to be kidding.
I am not kidding
Yep.
you.
I'm surprised by that. Look, you'd have to give me free tickets plus parking.
No,
and
the
personal
parking
driver.
is going for $1,000
What? Oh, Joe, give me $1,000 for a parking space.
if you want that reserved parking
No,
space. Yeah.
come on, Joe. Seriously, come on. I don't believe that. All
No,
right,
for like
so
the Dallas
we go
game.
to the Red Sox, and when we go to the Red Sox, we're not going to even talk about the Red Sox first. We're going to talk about Mike Yastrzemski. What a great story.
great
We've been
story.
following him on this show when he got
Yeah.
called up in May. Just shows you what a terrible organization the Orioles are. They get rid of him.
Yeah.
Never plays a game for the
home
Orioles.
20 home runs?
20 home runs in what?
80
95
games.
games?
St. John's
like
Prep,
that.
right?
St.
We
John's
end over,
Prep.
yeah.
Catholic Conference.
What?
Yeah.
29 years old.
Wow.
What
You
a
stuck
great
with
story.
it, huh?
It's a great story.
And he takes a Valdi deep to center
It
field.
was an epic home run too. I mean, it was majestic, huge, deep center field home run.
And Carl was there, of course, and
Yeah.
Carl said that,
There he is.
there you go, that other than maybe the 67 season, this was the biggest moment he's
Yeah,
had
that's great.
in baseball,
Yeah,
is seeing
it's
his
great.
grandson.
Well, the other thing, the story, it's, Mike's father, Carl's son, passed away very
Yeah.
early, like 42, 43, tragically. So,
Yeah.
you got a grandfather and a grandson. It doesn't get any better.
and then
than
them both walking in left field before
Oh,
the
what
game.
a great picture that was.
Oh my God!
Feel-good
Fantastic.
story.
All right, Christian Vasquez, hear ye, has 20 home runs.
That grand slam. Like,
Oh my!
I'm glad I picked him as my player to watch.
Yeah. No, I don't think you did.
I did.
No, you did.
Wasn't
Who did
Rick
I get?
Porcello?
Kelly? I think it was Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk and Christian Vasquez.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll give it to you. Good job on that.
Thank you. I
Rusty
appreciate
boy.
it. Yeah,
but
I called
you
that
had
one.
Devers, you had Xander, and you had Christian Vasquez, three in the starting lineup, who far exceeded expectations this year, and you still were a crappy team. How is that possible?
Because
Starting
pitching's
starting
90%
pitching.
of the game.
And clutch hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like J.D. Martinez and Mookie Betts had done zilch in contributing to this
A
team.
lot of late game garbage time numbers for those guys this year.
Yeah, and,
Or late in the season for
That's what I mean.
Martinez.
Late
Yeah.
season garbage time numbers.
and now all of a sudden, if Christian Vasquez is hitting 20 home runs, 20 home runs isn't a big deal anymore. 30 home runs is not even a big deal.
Had he hit 5 before this?
Do you know what I mean? We have to look at these positions a little differently now. Michael Chavis is maybe not as valuable as we think he is. Look, they're not even playing him. Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's been hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they've been talking about phasing him out anyways with the
It's just
Dahlbeck and the other guy.
The starting pitching. You just look at those numbers. It's just
And our two
crap.
question marks, our left fielder and our center fielder.
Yeah, absolutely. Benintendi in this current climate really looks bad.
Is
with,
he
what,
on the
12
downward
homers?
trend? We always thought he was on the upward trend. Did he
Oh,
level
he's
out
been
and is kind
plateaued
of?
for a couple of
Is
years
this
now.
what he
He
is?
may be who he is.
You
may
need a
be
left
looking at
fielder
it.
for the Boston Red Sox to hit 30 home runs.
Oh, absolutely.
mean, I
we
don't
need
know how
30.
you-
We need 30 homers out of our left fielder, and that,
Yeah.
because anyone can play left field.
Especially this year with the balls getting hit out of the park at a record level, and he's still back 2 years ago at the level.
Yeah, he ends up going to the Cardinals.
Was he hurt? Was he hurt? I mean,
No.
sometimes you don't know.
But physically, he's not
But
a big guy.
We've seen guys
Yeah,
who,
he's
like, you
slight.
find out later they were hurt. That's why they had a bad year.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So
The Red Sox are pretty quick to tell you
Disappointing
they're
year
right
for
already.
Benintendi, though.
So the United States of America's World Basketball Championship team,
AKA the Celtics.
really stunk.
They didn't
And
cover
I'm
us in
telling
glory,
you, boys,
did they?
I am so worried seeing that we had our 4 stars on the team that we couldn't even beat Serbia.
Well, hang on though. Like one didn't play. Tatum did not play the last 3 games. He
Okay.
didn't play in the game we lost.
And neither did Marcus.
No, Marcus played.
Did he?
And the problem is that Kemba Walker played very well up until the game they lost.
Okay.
Right.
Which,
So
France or Serbia?
France.
But it's not encouraging news to see.
No, but
this.
I wouldn't blame the Celtics on that team. Was badly constructed. There was no big man, right? They didn't have a big man.
I'm
to speak
worried.
of.
I didn't watch 5 seconds.
I made
of it, so I
predictions.
can't
Well, the
even
Celtics
comment.
aren't going to have a big man either.
I'm
no,
fearful that this is a 35-win season.
Oh, no,
fearful that
I'm
we have
saying
seen-
more.
No. I'm fearful that we have lost guys on the defensive end that we cannot replace. In Horford,
Wow, panic in the streets
No,
already
no,
from
absolutely
Scott.
no.
Before
Look,
training camp starts, he's predicting a 35.
no, I think this is going to be a bad season.
All right, well,
what teams are we better than? Okay, I'll give
He
you.
went through this one,
No,
and
no.
he's right.
What teams are we better than in the Eastern Conference? I'll give you the Wizards.
Oh, we're better than
I'll
that.
give you the
And
Magic.
no, John Wall's coming
I'll
back. He
give
might
you-
not be.
I'll give you the
than the
Magic. Would you agree? Magic,
Yeah, Hawks.
Hawks.
Knicks.
Better than
Knicks.
the Pistons. We're better than a
Pistons.
lot
Are
of
we
teams.
better than the Brooklyn without
Yeah,
Durant?
we're better than Brooklyn.
We're not better
No,
than
the
Brooklyn.
Pistons
Without
Pistons
Durant,
game.
we're absolutely
With Kyrie and look, Brooklyn was a
With
pretty
Kyrie.
with Kyrie, it's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, they were a playoff team last year and they
All
had
right, we're not better
Kyrie.
than Indiana.
Kyrie's done so well in iffy circumstances.
Okay.
Like we can count on him stepping
Are we
up.
better than Indiana?
We're right there with Indiana.
We're not better than Milwaukee.
Victor Oladipo's not going to be back until February.
We're not better than Milwaukee.
No, we're not better
That
than
long?
We're not better than Philly.
Philly and Milwaukee, we're not better than. And
Toronto?
we're probably right there with Toronto and Indiana.
Toronto? What is
We're
Toronto now?
third, fourth
Toronto's,
seed.
No
Toronto's.
Kawhi.
I don't think we are. I seriously.
Wow, sky's falling.
No, absolutely.
Okay, good.
No,
My
but
hope is-
they
Well,
show
if you
that.
look
My
at him,
hope
it's a
is-
small lineup
All right.
every time.
Brad
all
Stevens
game
was
long.
not coaching the U.S. team. Brad likes to get like hustlers, workers, and get them to overachieve. That's my hope. This might be a Brad Stevens coachable team. The last year was not that team.
Timmy, you know who's coaching? Greg Popovich.
Yeah, but no.
He's a lot better coach than
Oh,
Brad
I know.
Stevens.
But Stevens seems to get overachievers. He when you put him
Well,
down, he seems
a
to
lot
overachieve.
of it's the same guys. It's Jason Tatum. It's Jalen Brown.
But without
Marcus-
we
that,
have nobody
that
defensively. We have
virus
no
in
one
the locker
defensively
room.
to protect the rim.
Okay. Defensively to protect the rim, that's a good point. We don't have. That's the one weakness on the team is
no
rim
big
protection.
men. They're gonna just.
We've
post us
got
up.
big men who can score. We have big men who may
Yeah,
not
who
be
can
able to
score.
defend. Yeah.
Look, Cantor's a nice offensive 20-minute
But
guy.
here's the thing: there's like 5 teams in the league that have a legitimate low post big man. 5.
No, but Russ, it's not even about the big men. It's about guys going past their man
Right,
and somebody
you're gonna have to
taking him in the
You're going
paint,
to have to
and
play
nobody
good
can do that.
team defense and help. That's what you're going to have
Who's
to do.
going to cover Giannis? He's just going to. It's going to be
Who's
a
gonna cover
3-point
Embiid?
play every time he
I
gets
know.
the ball. He's going to beat the guy off the dribble,
No,
and then he's
there
going to
isn't
get
a
3-point
player
play.
in the NBA other than Kawhi Leonard who can cover Giannis. So we're joining 31 other teams who can't guard Giannis.
I think it's going to be problems. Still, look, there's going to be
Oh,
some.
I don't think it's going to be a banner year by any means.
No, look, what has Kemba Walker ever won?
Kemba Walker
In
has been
college
surrounded
he
by
did.
crap for the last 8 years of his career. Crap.
He's going to love those wings. He's going to
This
love
is going to
these
be
wings.
a huge year for Brown and Tatum. What are they?
No, I'm
This
hoping.
is the
I'm
year-
hoping. I'm worried.
This
I'm
is
telling
the
you.
year. What are those two guys?
People are going to say from
You
the
put all of Brookline in a panic tonight. I'm thinking
right,
about all those
Well,
people
give
just
it-
thinking about their
How about the
season.
Patriots? Are they going to win? Are they going to beat the Jets?
Of course, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, we didn't do the predictions. Quickly, Patriots, Jets.
A low score, 24-3.
Oh, 45-9.
Jets 30-10.
All right.
The Jets.
Patriots 49-3. Yeah, I think that just feels right. All right, we go to the Bruins, and they did exactly what Timmy wanted them to do.
Amazing.
They signed Carlo and Charlie, like in the same 24 hours.
You know what I say? It's like, are they getting under $3 million a piece?
No,
well,
no,
Carlo
no.
gets,
Carlo gets
is.
under 3.
Because it's an extension.
McAvoy has what?
McAvoy has 4.9 is
It's
first year.
shocking, guys.
For 3 years, he's got $15 million. Right?
But they're extensions because they wouldn't have been getting that in the first year.
Okay, but I put these guys in the top
Yeah.
25% of
amazing.
defensemen in the NHL. And the lack of money the NHL, these guys are getting paid is really shocking.
Well, Charlie took a hometown discount. He really likes
Well,
it.
and
here.
I think if you notice, their contracts will be up when the same year that they get Krejci, Backus, and Rask off the books.
I mean, if I had to pick
okay,
one,
great
But
point.
boom,
All right.
you know, their
Carlo.
agent, I think there may have been another deal, you know, with their agents. Take a look at how this is going to work.
I mean, Carlo might be the best of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's not even making
All around.
$3 million.
Yeah, the other thing is they're going to get new TV money when these contracts are up. So they'll do well on their next
But you know
contracts.
these defensemen can last 15, 20
I know.
years. So these
Carlo,
guys are going to
big, steady good in all aspects of the game. McAvoy's
But it's
a
nice.
star.
Look,
I mean,
it's nice that Sweeney did a good job re-signing them.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Kudos to
Should we
Sweeney.
get him to be the GM of the Red Sox?
does that leave us enough money? Does that leave us enough money to keep Krug?
That's a great
next year.
question.
That's
for
the
next
big
week's
question.
show.
Next
All right,
year.
well, that's
'Cause
our
remember,
show
Shirelli
tonight.
really killed
want
him.
to thank the boys. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Thank you, Corbin, for all your help.
Corbin. Thank
you.
Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.
Here comes the circus.